Okay, let's chat boxing now, and we're lucky enough to be joined by IBO Super Featherweight champion Will Tomlinson. Will, thanks for coming in as always, mate.
Thanks for having me.
Let's get straight into it. Your next bout on November 21 against Irving. Now, we understand this fight was originally scheduled for tomorrow, but we understand it's been changed to be on the Danny Green undercard. How did that come about?
Yeah, well, originally the fight was meant to be scheduled 26th of October. I was going to headline my own show down in Melbourne, but Greenie contacted us and said, hold off for a month and get on my card again, and we'll put his fight put my fight on his show, and we just couldn't knock back the opportunity.
Yeah, that's great for you, I suppose, getting that sort of publicity on Danny Green's undercard. No doubt, though, you're certainly on the way to making a name for yourself, Will. And Irving Berry, your next opponent, what do you know about him?
Just that, he's 2 arms, a head. He's from Panama. He's going to be a slick, stylish type of fighter. He's switch hits, and he's probably going to move around a lot and make it a bit of a tricky fight. But I'm sure I'll be able to cut him off and make him fight me. You
mentioned he's a switch hitter. Do you try and, for the preparation leading up for the next month, do you try and spar against people who are similar fighters? Yeah,
well, the idea is to obviously imitate the guy you're fighting with your sparring, and I'm using Gary Sinclair a fair bit, and he's a very awkward fella himself, so some good quality rounds in with him will be ideal.
This will be the second defence of your IBO Super Featherweight title. Your previous fight against Daniel Ruiz, bizarre circumstances. The lights went out. What happened?
Yeah, there was a car accident close to the venue we were fighting at, which sent the entire neighbourhood into darkness. And unfortunately for me, I didn't get to finish the fight quite the way I would have liked to, but there was no doubt that I was dominating the fight, and in my opinion and a lot of other people's opinion watching the fight, they thought I probably would have caught up to him and stopped him eventually, but it didn't happen that way. But that's all in the past, so all I can do now is focus on the future and win in my next one.
Because of that odd finish to that fight, do you feel as though you've got a bit of unfinished business in the next month?
Yeah, well, when I finished that fight, there wasn't much. I didn't get a release at the end of it, and I still had all this unburnt energy that I had stored up because the fight just came to an abrupt finish. But so the next day I woke up and I felt like I wanted to start training and starting getting ready for the next fight. But it's not as easy as that. All the business side of things, sometimes can be complicating in making fights happen. So it's been about 5 months now. By the time I fight again on November 21, but I'm glad that it's finally come around.
Yeah, you must be pumped to say the least. Now, I know the boxers never like looking beyond their next fight, but 12 months down the track, where would you like to be as far as your career is concerned?
Obviously not looking past Irving Berry. It's going to be a tough fight there, but if I could get an ideal fight for me next year would be a unification fight with one of the other world champions in my weight division, Roman Martinez, the WBO champ. That'd be a dream fight for me. I'd take it in a heartbeat if the deal can be made. So, but I just got to get past Irving Berry first, and just keep winning, and those fights will eventually present themselves.
Well, there's been a lot of boxing in the news recently, especially Daniel Gill and Anthony Mundine. What have you made of all of the tit-for-tat stuff, especially considering there's been a bit of racism card brought into it, which is always fairly unsavoury? Or do you think potentially it's good for boxing that so many people are now talking about their rivalry?
Yeah, that's the way Mundine promotes the fights. Like he talks a lot, but maybe on this occasion he's just probably crossed the line a little bit too much. Like he's attracted a lot of negative attention to himself. There's a lot of attention to the fight as well. Like I think I've seen Kevin Rudd tweeting about it the other day. So it's definitely, the fight's getting out there. People are aware that the fight's taken place, but it's a fine balance. You don't really want to cross, you want to attract attention to the fight, but you want it to be the right attention, not negative attention. But he does what he does, and it seems to work for him. So
I think one thing's for sure, though, a lot of people will be watching that fight. Who do you think will win it?
Yeah, my money be on Geely, 100%. Yeah, he's definitely improved a lot since their last fight, and yeah, even though Mundine did win the last one, I think Geely will be the more confident one going into the fight. He's been more active, he's fought the better opposition. But you know, having said all that, yeah, you can never rule out Mundine as well. He's a supreme athlete and he's a very good competitor, and you know, he's always going to be dangerous when he's in the fight. So, but yeah, like if I was the betting man, I was going to put money on it, be on Geely 100%.
What about Danny Green's fight against Shane Cameron on the 21st, of course, which is the main event for your fight night? Have you spoken to Danny too much about his fight with Cameron? How do you think he's going to go?
I haven't spoken to Greeny too much about the actual fight itself. We've spoken about other things, but the way I see the fight going, I think you know, Greeny's got the ability to outbox him and you know, win the fight. But he's again, like, he's going to be in a dangerous fight because Shane Cameron can whack, and if he lands one of those big shots on him, like as you've seen him land one on that Monty Barrett, yeah, he can ice you. So Greeny's going to have to be careful and you know, go about winning the fight smartly. But yeah, I think he should be able to get over him.
Wonderful stuff, Will. Okay, of course, as we mentioned off the top, your fight 21st of November against Irving Barry to defend your IBO Super Featherweight crown. Mate, as always, thank you very much for coming in on Fox Sports News.
No problems at all. Thanks for having me.